Let's get ready to go live. How about we go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. How about we get ready to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome back, Wayfarer. I hope you're doing well. Wherever you are, whoever you are, and whenever you may be receiving this transmission, keep doing good magic. This is the Grand Wizard of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, Eastern Star Division. Frank Monday coming at you live once again. October 1st, 2025. It's a Wednesday, guys, here in the central kingdom of the Celestial Dragon, Twilight Zone, Old Peking, far behind the bamboo firewall. Bringing it to you once again like Finnegan. So if you've got a yin to expand your kin, then let's get zen, you and me, baby. If it's your first time, don't let it be your last time. Make sure you hit the button and do the thing, right? Keep them barking like Pavlov's dog. We got to get those likes up, guys. Get the likes on the videos up. Go ahead and do that now. Take a moment, if you would, to join me in prayer. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of all things visible and invisible, master of both the light and the darkness. He who was, is, and shall be, we adore thee and we invoke thee. Send us one of your divine spiritual agents, our holy guardian angel, to protect and guide us through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere, and a cleansing wind to disperse all negativity and endless human opinion. Teach us those secret things which we must know for the completion of the great work and the glory of thine ineffable name, Adonai. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Amen. All right, good magic. Hail unto thee who art Ra in thy rising, even unto thee who art Ra in thy strength, who travellest over the heavens at the uprising of the sun. Tahuti standeth in his splendor at the prow, and Ra-Hor abideth at the helm. Hail unto thee from the abodes of twilight. Welcome back, Wayfarer. Remember, goodness alone is power, silence is strength, will regaineth omnipotence, and love lieth at the foundation. For is not love the law? Love under will. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, Wayfarer. Keep on getting out there and shaking your moneymaker, guys. It is the 100-day challenge. Internal alchemy is this one, guys. I'm in day 9, so I'm about to go into day 10. I hope you took a moment to go over to www.buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday, pull something in the tip jar, and get the link down in the description below, guys. Go over there and download the syllabus for this and every 100-day challenge that I've done here on the old Frank Monday channel. Make it happen, man. It's good magic. It's what we got going on, brothers and sisters. We're trying to reach 1,000 subs, man. So if you chime in and dime in, then make sure you do that, man. Sub up your grandma, a friend, get the videos out there. Ask them, have you heard of Frank Monday? All right. Is he not an interesting fellow? Open lines, of course, as always. If you've got a paranormal encounter, don't be afraid to call in and let me know all about it, man. Call in now. Better now than later, right? Because is it not a fact that we got to look for those breakthroughs, right? That bring us back to center, as it were. That let us know that there's something more than what's just going on here in the prime material plane, because there is a lot. And so with welcoming in Oktober, I'm going to be talking about battling demonic forces today. So after we let Israel Regardi guide us through the invocation of Tahuti, because we definitely need the auspices of Tahuti on this one, guys. That old great god of magic, Thoth, the Atlantean. Yeah, so let's invoke him first, and then we'll get into the material for today, which is going to be battling demoniacal forces. So put on your seatbelt, guys. Get ready to strap in and dial in and tune in, and prepare yourself for some more stimulating conversation. And get involved, man. You got to get involved with the program. Otherwise, it's just me jerking off on the internet. Nobody wants to see that, right? Well, maybe some of you do. I don't know.
Invocation of Thoth. Procul, O procul esti profani, or lasti ompeda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of the Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of light and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemesis as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, Lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dusk, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who accompany the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of wrong, ever advancing onwards the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance wherein Ptah floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I raise up flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Heth-Ra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, Lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of Ptah when he createth his works. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, all light, all power. So, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth hath ever nourished the changeless godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the vast one may be obedient unto me.
So it is commanded and confirmed, so let it be. All right, good magic. That there was beloved master magician Francis Israel Ragardi guiding us through the invocation of Tahuti. So yeah, we're going to be doing big magic today, guys. We're going to be up against some very powerful demons, right? They come in from all angles and attempt to attack you and thwart you in your good work, in the pursuit of the great work, right? So in order to achieve the great work, we're going to have to know secret things from God on high. And with that in mind, we got to invoke often and inflame ourselves with prayer. Well, you might like to. It's up to you. You do whatever you want, right? But one way I like to get at it is by using prayer, meditation, and one of the demons, the first demon we're going to get into, the first one we're going to go after today, as it were, is that old demon of disorder, right? Clutter, disorganization, just the environment. So we're going to address one of the primary ones that I've dealt with a lot throughout life, and it's keeping a tidy workspace and a tidy house. Yeah, it's a big one. People, they look far and wide for demons to battle, but they don't take into consideration sweeping up the old floor, right? And just getting in there and getting the mop hot and ready, and then engaging in some cleanliness of the house. So one of the forerunning things I wanted to bring forward in this transmission was that idea of the simplicity in using your magic to go to war, right? We're going to start a war. We're going to have a war on filth. We're going to have a war on clutter and a war on disorder. I am a person that's always kept a tight ship. I was raised by a Navy man. He was an officer in the Navy, U.S. Navy, a sailor man. And he always taught me to flake down the hose and put things away after you're done, clean off your tools and put them away. And it's oftentimes this great vexation of demonic forces is not brought about by the magician himself, because the magician is guileless and innocent and free from guilt and free from karma and free from the bonds of the zodiacal chains and free from fate and all those other things. The magician has worked to break the chains of bondage, but it's other folks in the environment, right? Whether it be friends or family friends, acquaintances, strangers, random people, powerful forces like in bodies of government, the community, or the national level, the international level. Those are the real troublemakers, right? You need look no further than the miscreants and the bad guys and the bad actors and those people who are up to no good, right? Overtly up to no good. And so they're getting at it and they're getting busy. Uh, Recently, I had some successes here, and I wanted to ask you guys about like your gains and losses and successes and so on and so forth. So I stated the question, how, because it's the end of another month, right? So how was your September? How was your September, right? What were sorry, guys, trying to type and talk at the same time. What were some of the gains slash losses that you experienced? And what were some of the highlights? Yeah. And so, me personally, I had a little of both, right? There's always a little loss and a little gain on the spiritual path. It's all racked up to spiritual gains in the end, summation of things. But September went well, right? We got back into it. June, July, August, September. We got back in it in the last week of August there at the academy, getting everything ready for welcoming back the kids. They came back into the school first, second, and third of September, right? September, the 7th month. And I drew the Four of Wands, which is it's a beautiful card, right? It's a card of exchanging ideas and proposals and addressing a universal need that ensures approval and support. And so let me see if I can dig it out for you guys here. I wonder why these things always get kind of little schmegma dots on them. Yeah, Cage is here. Good to see you, Cage. So mote it be unto thee as well, amigo. Good to see you. I will drop the link in a little while here. First, I wanted to deal with a little bit of demonic battle. Yeah, good to see you. Hey, Rose77 is out there. She's stopping by to say hi. Good greetings and salutations unto thee who art Rose, even unto thee who art Rose in thy glory and thy beauty and thine intelligence. Hail unto thee who art Rose77. Good to see you. I was just talking a little tarot. I've been thinking about you recently. I haven't checked the emails though, man. This has been my first downtime in a couple of weeks. Well, probably close to 5 weeks now. Man, we've been hard at it at the academy. I'd like to show you guys. That's why I wanted to talk a little bit about loss and gains, is because I wanted to show you guys a presentation I didn't have to do, but that I did at work. Well, yeah, I was compelled, but it went really well. And all the leaders in academia were very impressed. And I think a couple of the gals that like me, they like literally squealed and might have creamed their jeans, right? And one of them followed me back in like a couple of days later to keep a tight eye on me, and she filmed me in performance a couple of times. And she's like, "Oh, good God in heaven," you know. Good fun though, man. It's fun to have some of those winning streaks, you know. Oh yeah, I know you've been super busy, Rose. Good magic for that. Rose says that she's got a lot to do, but it's nice to take a break and listen to interesting things you talk about. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's been a lot of good magic going on. So I drew the Four of Wands. Again, you know, cue the confetti. This card's a celebration of love, community, milestones, or simply making it through a wild stretch of change. You know, so transitioning from vacation time back into work time. It's always a great pleasure for me. I love going back to work. I love doing things that are productive and proactive and making money. You know, I'm going to make money one way or the other, you know, with or without the job, as it were. But I really like being in the environment of the academy and meeting with young people and seeing how when they learn about even like, you know, the basic principles of speech communication and written communication, how they can put it to use, you know, and seeing how like kung fu and practice and repetition and like Aristotelian values of right? You know, what is it that Aristotle says, that excellence is not an accident. It's a matter of habit. It's what you do repeatedly. And so when these kids are out there and they're getting it, you know, getting their dance routines on, or doing their mathematics, or learning the piano, or giving presentations and preparing themselves for the world stage, it's really a great pleasure and honor to work with them and see them grow and develop. As some of you may know, I work at an academy, a high school, a private bilingual high school, and I teach at the high school level. So um, juniors and seniors is what I take on. I like to just have seniors, but they always seem to stick me with some like sophomores and juniors as well. Because if you just teach seniors, they're pretty much done in May. But if you have any other grade level, then you kind of have to hang out and hang around until the end of the school year. But yeah, I always approach these guys when I get a new job or whatever, or come on at a new academy. I tell them I'm only here to teach seniors. I'm only here to teach AP courses, collegiate level classes, to threshold cats that are ready to go off to university and need a little experience in the higher level course material. But anyway, you know, they agree to it oftentimes in the beginning, but then they kind of backtrack and stick a bunch of juniors and sophomores in your classes anyway. Anyway, it is what it is. So, you know, sometimes you work really hard in the community and with the family, and you sacrifice yourself day in and day out. And then finally there comes a break and you earn a moment of sweetness. And that's what I experienced over the last couple of weeks, guys, were some of those moments of sweetness. And you can't skip or overlook that. You have to appreciate and have great gratitude for it. So when it culminates in like giving a speech at work to all the leaders or all the teachers, or being involved in those opening ceremonies and celebrations, and we had a sporting day event and all of that revelry, it's really a great thing, really a wonderful thing. And you know, the tarot is unerringly accurate. And in response to what I had going on, I started drawing a lot of wands cards, a lot of that fiery, creative, passionate, enthusiastic energy that mirrored what was going on in my environment. And one that focused in for me was the Four of Wands. And so when this card comes up, you know, it brings warmth, stability, and good vibes. Let me show it to you guys real quick. I'll pop on the camera. Yeah, there he is there. There's old Frank Monday hanging out with the Four of Wands. And so I drew it and I took notes and I wrote it down. And it's often linked to ceremonies and reunions and joyful events, right? But it also speaks to that inner peace and external harmony that you arrive at from doing the good work, right? Doing the good work. So when we get into the battle of demons, the first one I thought about was disorder and cleaning up the environment and getting everything ready, and cleanliness, right? Isn't there an expression that cleanliness is next to godliness? And that's really a thing. You know, you build a foundation that holds you, and you've been waiting for a sign that, you know, everything's going to break and you're going to receive your reward. And then it comes in the form of the Four of Wands. It's a really great one. You can see the card there, guys. Let me get it out and look right behind it. Ye old 8, lust for life, right? Major arcana. So look at that. You know, there's a beautiful town scene behind the celebrants. They're wearing crowns of laurels and holding up bouquets of fragrant flowers. There's ripening fruit or veggies on the vine. It really shows a harvest, right? That harvest season. I'm not exactly sure where the Four of Wands falls on the zodiacal wheel, but let's check it out. I got it right there handy. The Four of Wands, we're going to be looking for fire energies. And there it is there. It falls in the sign of Aries. Oh, I've been pulling a lot of spring cards. Something's really going to be really going to be happening in the springtime, guys, after the long winter. But yeah, it's the third deacon in Aries, and so it's towards the end of the sign of Aries. But yeah, what a thing! So it shows that thriving spring environment, I guess. Yeah, rather than a harvest, but it also portrays a harvest. It's kind of a conundrum, right? The way things work. What a wonderful thing, though. What a beautiful thing to share with you guys. And so I want to dig in a little more to these demons. And it's interesting that I should mention, battling demons, and then lo and behold, some demoniacal forces might show up. So the first one I wanted to deal with was that demon of disorder, right? And ordo abkeo, or bringing about greater order out of chaos. And so I jumped up this morning and I got in there and I started working it out, nailing the floors, sweeping and mopping and organizing. Got a couple of loads of laundry going, looking through some of my packed items. And I decided to take a moment to chill and offer myself a little bit of sanctuary and succor. And so I drew a tarot card, and it just happened to be the Eight of Wands, right? Another Wands card, and showing that dynamic, powerful energy. It's like a doubling of the four, right? So we went from the Four of Wands to the Eight of Wands. I journaled about it here. And the main upshot of this one says that recent success provides confidence to accomplish even more. And I thought, yeah, I got in there and I knocked it out, and I'm scrubbing the floor and doing all this, that, or the other thing. And the kids jump up and they need breakfast. And so I, whip up some breakfast for them, and they make big messes, and then they go into their studies, and I got to kind of clean up after all that. I repaired a few items. I fixed a door, and I did all these wonderful things. And then I wanted to share some fellowship with you guys here on the internet. And so I thought, hey, you just go ahead and fire up a live stream, get in there and talk about it. And so I did some note taking, and I prepared some notes for today. And one of the things that came up was this idea that the demons, right? Because there are a lot of demons, minions of Team Evil, as it were, right? They're out there, and Grimalkins, they're trying to undermine you. And so I thought about that first principle, that principle of cleanliness and orderliness, and getting one's working environment and living space, keeping it in order and maintaining order, and how some folks try to undermine that foundation. It's not even necessarily that they're intentional about it. It's just that, like, things arise, things block you, things go wrong. You got to clean and then re-clean, and then something's going to come in and cause disorder in that environment. And how do you overcome those demons? How do you prepare for battle, right? I do it, again, prayer, meditation, journaling, and preparation. Preparation is a big one. Making lists, checking off those lists, doing good magic, right? Kung Fu practice, Qigong. Some people like yoga. I'm not a big yoga guy myself. I don't like laying around on the floor like a baby in a dirty diaper. I mostly do upright types of Kung Fus, but yogas are really good, especially for when you're laying down at night, to relax and untie the body, as it were, so you can have a really good time in Dreamland. And so cleanliness, right? Cleanliness is next to godliness. Keep the faith. Don't let the demons, right? Their demonic forces cause humanity to lose faith. And you're going to have to do battle with them. Every time you engage in the great work, they are going to rise up powerful and more ferocious than before. They're going to battle you. They're going to cause you maybe some physical pain or suffering. They're going to, throw down a bowl full of spicy noodles straight on the floor, shattering the bowl and scattering noodles and soup everywhere, right? And you can't let it necessarily take the jelly out of your donut. It can't let it rouse your ire. You just deal with it. It's another part of the fragmented puzzling of things that you have to unravel. And if you weren't the best tool for the job, the best magician to put Satan back in his cage, then it wouldn't have happened to you. It would happen to someone else, and they would be there to rise up and take the bull by the horns and correct the situation. So that first one, right? Disorder in the environment, and bringing things into order, and bringing about a joyful home and a joyful workplace. I was at work, and one of the things, other than giving great presentations and fulfilling my duties there, and delegating responsibilities and so on and so forth, I had a wonderful meeting with the boss, as it were, the owner, the CEO of the company, and I requested it from his secretary, and I wanted to, give him a little gift for the full moon mid autumn festivals coming up, and so I wanted to offer, a nice little gift and remind him that I'm one of his little workers, and that I'm keeping a tight ship at my level, and I appreciate him standing at the helm day in and day out and guiding the course of the whole academic endeavor, making it possible, bringing forward the funding, the architecture, all of the so many numerous things that are necessary to have a great, 3,000 kids attend there, and it's a boarding school. So it's kind of a big deal, from K to 12. And he said, I seldom meet with teachers or allow for teachers to meet with me. But he said, I really like you, and I like your zhuang tai. And I had never heard the word zhuang tai before. And he said it several times, and he said it several times in our meetings. And I had to look it up and seek counsel and be like, ask my coworkers or colleagues and my wife. I was like, what is meant by zhuang tai? And so zhuang can be like circumstance or situation, and then tai can be like tai do, like xin tai, like these types of attitude or presentation or personality. And so it essentially, I mean, there's no easy translation, I guess, but maybe like your aura, your I don't know how to describe it exactly. Sometimes I'm at a loss for words in translation, that something gets lost in the translation. But it's basically like your professional presentation, like the energy you bring forward and to the table as an individual. So it can include so many things, like the pep in your step, your haircut, your whatever you're wearing, the way you talk, your canter and disposition. There are just so many things that go into it, and it's a whole kind of encompassive Chinese idea. And I felt really honored by that. I'm like, wow, that's really cool, man. I don't think anybody's ever fucking told me that before. That hey Frank Monday, I appreciate your zhuang tai. You got a great zhuang tai. And so his secretary took some pictures of us, and reflecting on that and looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, he's got a very similar zhuang tai. And what is that zhuang tai? That's the zhuang tai of a magician, of a leader, someone who's made it to the top of the fucking pyramid, the top of the mountain. He stands at the top of a huge multinational corporation and endeavor that is engaged in academia and medicine and business and real estate. Like his enterprise, the guy I work for, has so many facets to it that it's really kind of a mind-boggling thing. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna schmooze up with this guy every chance I get. Stop by his office. Not to the point that I'll become odious, but I mean, a couple of times a year when times are appropriate, I'm definitely going to stop by, offer the glad hand, and say hello, because he reciprocates and he knows good magic, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting good magic done. Guys, I got 3 to cover before I'm going to open the panel and invite guests up. So it's probably going to take, I don't know, another 20 to 30 minutes through me to make it through all 3 of the demons that I wanted to focus on. Number 1 was that demon of chaos, right? Number 2 is going to be the demon of like insipidness or listlessness. right? This demon of the lackadaisical, yeah, discombobulation, that kind of thing. And then number three, we'll save number three for a moment. But next, after we're going to take a short musical break, just a couple of minutes, and then right after that, I'll be back and we'll launch in and we'll battle our second demon, the demon of the lethargic, listless, lackadaisical, do nothing, know nothing majority of the world that are battling against us. And so let's enjoy a little Dweller of the Dark, and then I'll be right back.
Eagles flying high, cats on the prowl, devils in your bed, their whispers so loud, witches on my heels, so they'll steal, running in the dark, truth they conceal, blood on the walls, splattering a sink. God can't help the dead, no time to think. Hounds howl at night, shadows in the light, fear in every breath, eyes wide with fright. Cards dealt by fate, no way to escape. Threads getting tight, can't see the daylight. Blood on the walls, splattering a sink. God can't help the dead, no time to think. Cards dealt by fate, no way to escape. Threads getting tight, can't see the daylight. Blood on the walls, splattering a sink. God can't help the dead, no time to think.
That's good magic right there. I appreciate that, guys. That is Dweller of the Dark. Little channel here on YouTube. He makes some music. He does a lot of audiobook readings. So definitely check him out if you haven't already. I've blurbed his channel because I like his music. I like his persistency. Good God in heaven. This guy is fucking getting it day in and day out. He's putting forward like several audiobook readings, all human rendered each month. Let me see what happened here. Why are we lagging? But we are lagging. Yeah, so really getting good magic done. So shout out to you. Big shout out to Dweller of the Dark. Thank you for that. Yeah, and he's told me I can use any of his music or any of his content here on the channel. And just spread the word, you know. If you haven't checked him out already, then do so now. Get in there and get it done. I'm flipping back over to the comments box here and checking out what I had written here at the start of the show. I said, I hope you all are doing well. And I was asking about your September in retrospect. I was talking a little bit about mine and I wanted to find out more about yours, right? What, any gains and losses and what were the highlights, right? What were the high points? I had quite a few. I had a really, really good September, guys. And I think I'm going to have an even better October. And how do you know? Because you ghost and grind, right? You get the work done first and then you receive the reward. It's always the way it's worked, right? So when you're in those low points, and you're battling and struggling with whatever it is, demons, like I said, their big thing is to cause humanity to lose faith, to fall into depression and sadness, lethargy and hopelessness. And so when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the weeds, you just got to get out the scythe, the machete, and cut through it. You got to fight back, fight those demons that would seek to bind you to a lesser expression of who you are. You want to be the best of both worlds and get at it. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. And that's what I am talking about today. And that's what I'm getting into. And so I wanted to remind you, Wayfarer, to check me out at www.buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. Pull something in the tip jar, make it happen. We're gonna look at a little more in depth at what the 100-day challenge is all about, right? There's a syllabus that is either up there available for free right now on the coffee page, or I'll be loading up there after I get off the show here with you guys today. I just wanted to remind you that this is the Frank Monday transmission coming to you from Twilight Zone, Old Peking, deep within the central kingdom of the Celestial Dragon, far behind the bamboo firewall, going at it once again like Finnegan. So if you've got a yen to expand the old esoteric arcane ken, then let's get zen, man. Let's get zen, so zen that it becomes Tao, because that was zen and this is Tao. All right, so yeah, that's good magic. We've got one little more video here to kind of fill in before I get ready for the second demon. We're battling demons today, guys. 3 different demons. The demon of disorder, the demon of lethargy, and that third demon is going to be the demon of disharmony. And before we face those all-powerful demons, we're going to get a little bit of that grim face motivation, right? Grim face motivation that helps keep the lead in the pencil and the pep in the step. So short intermission, guys, as I ready for the next half of the show. Please enjoy.
Three powerful lessons to ignite immediate change in your life: humility and gratitude, the power of going the extra mile, and self-analysis and continuous improvement. These aren't just words, they're tools for transformation. The question is, will you use them? If you're ready to embrace the grind, push past your limits, and rewrite your story, the Grimface movement is your home. To our returning family, thank you for walking this path with us. To our newcomers, welcome to the dark side of motivation, where excuses die and action thrives. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what's next. And if today's lessons hit hard, share this video. Help someone else step into their power. Remember, success doesn't wait. Neither should you. Until next time, stay relentless, stay sharp, and most importantly, stay grim. Lesson 1. Humility and gratitude. Success is seductive, isn't it? The gleam of accomplishment blinds many to the truth. No one climbs to the summit alone. We are quick to glorify the lone wolf, the self-made conqueror, the hero who stood against the world. But these myths, though alluring, mask a harsher reality. The truth is this: the ladder to success is crowded with unseen hands holding it steady. Those hands are the teachers who shaped us, the rivals who pushed us harder, the allies who shared their wisdom, and even the critics who sharpened our resolve.
There you go there. Yeah, right. So we got to remember those things, right? Those things that are important and that we abide by in our own daily lives, and how they play out to make the world a better place, and you're a part of you're either a part of the problem or you're a part of the solution, right? And so we've already dealt with in the show today. We're pushing into the first hour, and I'd like to take an hour for each of these, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna finish off by the end of the hour. It says I'm at 45 minutes right now. And then I'll invite anybody who wants to come up and join me here and have a little chit chat about some of these ideas in the second hour. Maybe play a little more of that grim face motivation video. But we got two more ideas to deal with. The first was cleanliness is next to godliness. And then number two, we're going to get into ritual. And so I'm going to talk about this a little bit with you guys. So the demon is the demon of lethargy, right? And then the solution is the idea of ritual. So if you remember, I was talking about that first one where you get up and you're getting at it, you're getting your kung fu done, you're doing good magic, you burn some incense on the altar of truth, right? Say a little memento mori prayer for those who have passed. Then you're on your fucking hands and knees sweeping and mopping and getting shit done and readying meals, husking grain and preparing food, immersed in common labor. And that's what really brings about the Tao. That's when you break a sweat and you can sit back and enjoy a moment of clarity and relaxation. And that's what we're doing right now, right here with you, Wayfarer. And so I am going to turn on the camera. And I hope that you can hear me clearly. I've got the good microphone hooked up, and I'm not exactly sure, if it's working 100% or whatever. It says it's plugged in, but I did a sound check a moment ago, and it wasn't necessarily all that, right? It is what it is. But so the second one, ritual. I want to talk a little bit more about it by way of illustration here in the temple of the Esoteric Order of Dagon. And as the Grand Wizard of this order, it means I'm self-appointed. I appointed myself as Grand Wizard because there was no other great magician to step forward and take the helm of the Esoteric Order of Dagon here in Twilight Zone Old Peking that I knew about or that I had run, cross paths with. So I thought, why not, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, put on your dark robe and your little hat, get out your magic wand and start firing off some good magic. And so that's what I did. And in doing that, I opened the Arbitel of Magic, and I found that there was a bit of truth in there that I could tap into by way of Israel Regardi and Arthur Edward Wyatt and others in the order, the Hermetic Brotherhood of the Golden Dawn. And I thought, okay, so what are some of those things that aid the practitioner in art, right? The magical art. And I started writing down a list. This is just an abbreviated list. I was going to go through the entire alphabet, right? A, B, C. But I started with art, axioms, adorations, abulations, aphorisms, amulets, and so on and so forth. So I started with my A's, right? And I got a few. Obviously, this is just an abridged representation. But what are some of the art? Art was my first stop, and because I love art. I'm not very good at it, but I've always loved it, and I've always enjoyed running the gambit, right? Another A, alpha et omega, the alphabet, right? The Aleph Bet. And I got a really beautiful sketch here of the Tree of Life with the three Dantian and the archangels. And when I get it into like a 6x3 or 6x5 or something, 2 meters by 1 meter maybe. When I get it into like a full wall scale painting and it's really well done, then I'll share it with you. Maybe I could render it digitally to some extent, but yeah. Ooh, this one too. Good God. I really want to make it into a thing that's beautiful and wonderful to share with you guys out there in Happy Land. And I am going to do that. But adorations, abulations, aphorisms. Then I got into some others. I guess I don't need to go through all these right now, but holidays. And so I'm on a holiday right now. And that's one of the wonderful practices and beautiful things that you can enjoy when you are a practitioner of the magical arts, you'll have many magical holidays that allow you that opportunity to seize the moment, to enjoy, to not skip over your enjoyment, and to partake in those moments of nectar and ambrosia and the sweetness of life, right? Like just putting on a robe and sitting back and enjoying a little me time, a little free time with the wayfarers out there in Happy Land. So good magic there, and I hope you can appreciate it. So ritual is a big part of it. And one of the rituals I have, as you can see here, is the interaction with the magical alphabet by way of the Hebrew alphabet. And so there's an entire system of correspondence that you can use to Bereshit, right? That you can use to interact with that divine energy. Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Daleth, Hey, Vav, Zayin. Chet, Tet, Yed, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun. Samek, Ayin, Pei, Zadi, Quaf, Resh, Shen. Tau. So you can see that it comes in 3 sevens, right? Rows 7, 7, 7. There are 3 sevens plus the Tau or the reboot, right? So the Tau symbol, the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, is it's a recycling point, like a reboot point. And so you begin again like Finnegan, and you do the incantation of the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You do it in a canter of 7 beats, 3 beats of 7, like rows 7, 7, 7. And you use that as a kind of meditation. It's one of the things I use. You can break through, like, even with these very, very simple practices like of memory and recall, you can break through so many aberrant forces. I mean, demons literally shake to their foundation when they hear Hebrew, Aramaic, ancient Chinese, Latin. When they hear these old languages, it really causes them great fear, and it causes them to disperse quite rapidly. It looks like my internet is breaking up and playing games. So let me double check to see that my transmission is coming through. Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yed, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei, Zadi, Quaf, Resh, Shen, Tau. Okay, we're looking good. The feedback loop looks okay, but my internet indicator is showing that it's a really, really low transmission level. Let me try something, guys. This may boot me for a second, but I'm going to disconnect and then reconnect with the VPN, and I'm going to see if that cleans it up a little. Bear with me. Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Daleth, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Bem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei, Zadi, Quaf, Resh, Shen, Tau. Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Bem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei, Zadi, Quaf, Resh, Shen, Tau. Are we still connected? It looks like we still have that low transmission level on the YouTube, but that's okay. You know, do what it is. Roll with the punches. The next GIF here, the next page of study, I'm going to go ahead and skip over, guys. All of these are available in book form, you know, the basics of magic. I will flash this really quick, but I'm not going to show you it entirely because it's proprietary material to the Esoteric Order of Dagon. All hail the Father Dagon. All hail the Mother Hydra. The stars align and the shining trapezohedron emerges. Cthulhu is risen. I'll show you a really good one here of the magician I got coming forward. But again, until I get it into a really fleshed out form, I'm not going to be sharing these outside of like internal documents. But there you have it there. Yeah, so that's not the one I wanted to bring with me to share with you guys. But I've got it here. I believe it's either here or at the apartment downtown. So I'll have to wait to bring that forward. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna put the link in the ideas room. There's the link. It's in the chat. If you did want to chime in for a minute, now's the opportunity. We're approaching the end of the hour, and I'll let Grimface Motivation fill a little gap while I take a short intermission.
Every mentor, every challenge, every moment of support, seen or unseen, has played a role in lifting us higher. Yet how often do we look back to acknowledge them? How often do we let humility whisper in our ear that our victories are not ours alone? Without humility, success mutates into arrogance. Arrogance breeds isolation. And isolation? It's the slow poison that kills growth and progress. It is the silent destroyer of potential, the barrier between you and the people who could help you reach even greater heights. Humility is not weakness. It is power restrained, power refined. It is the recognition that while you may be strong, the strength of others has fortified your path. It is the realization that greatness does not come from standing above others, but from standing with them. It is the quiet strength to admit you needed help, that you are not invincible, and that your success is part of a larger, interconnected story. And what of gratitude? Gratitude is the mortar that binds relationships. It is the simple act of saying, I see you. I value you. I thank you. It is not a currency of debt. It is a currency of respect. When you express gratitude, you unlock a force greater than ambition alone. You create bonds, you inspire loyalty, and you foster an environment where growth is not just personal, but collective.
That's true, right? Isn't it? We want to foster an environment of collective growth. Okay, so I went ahead and I drew upon the goetic demons, and for disorder, for that demon of disorder, I rallied up. Let me get the old glasses here, guys. Turn some light on the situation. I rallied up old Azazel, and it says that Azazel teaches holy secrets and instructs one how to make weapons and the art of seduction. So upon summoning Azazel to be thwarted and controlled and contained within our magical practice today, right? It took the ordinal position of disorder. And so cleanliness and bringing about order and greater organization is how we defeat this diamoniacal force as it comes forward. And sometimes you have to understand the secrets and know them and look into unseen things and make weapons and implements that aid you, basically tools, not tools of destruction, but ones that protect you from negative influences, your circle of magic and triangle of art, your sword of wisdom. And sometimes it just takes the form of a dirty old cloth that you throw in the soapy water and get busy scrubbing the floors and the walls and all of that, right? And making things ready. And then for the position of ritual, and the demon I identified was that of laziness, right? Lethargy, the lackadaisical, lackluster, and disenchanted ennui, as it were. I drummed up Andromalius, 72nd, it says, of the goetic demons, returns items and punishes thieves, also reveals hidden treasures. What a wonderful thing, right? And look at that beautiful form that he comes in, the form of an angelic man with two caduceuses, one in either hand. And so maybe you've been robbed in the past and had things like your own rituals stolen from you. And there are thieves that need to be punished and hidden treasures to be revealed. Good magic there. I can really appreciate that. And then finally, for the position of what we're going to be moving into here, lastly, in this part of the transmission, relationships and the demon of disharmony, who would disrupt relationships. We drew forth the demon, the Goetic 13th of the Goetic demons, Baelith, right? Pictured in a man in armor, full suit of armor on an armored horse. And it causes all the love that may be of both men and women and the disharmony between men and women, right? Baelith, the old Knight of Hearts. And so get ready to get busy, right? Because there are relationships that you need to reinforce and demons that need to be trapped within the brass vessel, and you have to ready yourselves. You have to ready your garment. You have to ready the place. You have to ready all of the fumigations and accoutrements and materials of your art. And then you have to directly engage in battle sometimes with these demons. So if we think of that mindset of getting good magic done and revealing secret things, then we know that it is an easy operation, right? The truth is so easy to see, but it's people's minds that love focusing on deception and deceit and devious bypaths. They just don't want to do the work, the requisite work to get good magic done. And as a result, they allow themselves to fall into disorder, disharmony, lethargy, right? And they don't getting busy with the good things in life. And so that's what I thought this transmission might offer up to you, Wayfarer, Wanderer, Wildcat, Wizard, Warrior, alike, whoever you are and wherever you are. And whenever you receive this transmission, that there is hopefulness, there is faith, there is good magic in the world. There's lots of good and wonderful things to do. And you shouldn't overlook those things. And at the same time, you should allow yourself a moment to breathe and enjoy and seize the moment, right? Carpe diem. Because you've earned it. You've earned it, Wayfarer, and you've earned a little bit of rest and relaxation and interaction from the divine realm. It could be in the form of an incantation like I like to do, or it could be in just a moment of prayer and communion with the Lord. So whatever it is, and however you get it done, I hope you keep getting it done, Wayfarer. And until next time, keep doing good magic. I will see you in the abodes of the future. I'm going to finish this off here with the invocation of total integration. If you know it, say it with me. Let me find it here on the blurbs. There it is there. The invocation of total integration. I'll test out the abilities of this microphone by setting it here on the counter and see if it works from a distance. Heaven and earth are the spontaneous manifestations of the subtle, wondrous universal law. As the original oneness expresses itself, gross and subtle energies become distinctly divided. Our bodily caves are brightly illuminated by the mysterious light from the three Dantian bridge points leading to immortality. The powerful spirits of the 8 directions can join our beings with the true origin of life. By the absolute order of the divine Lingbao in the highest 9th heaven, send the positive energies of Qianluo, Danna, Dunkan, and Taishuan to destroy our spiritual obstacles and debilitate any evil influence. This order is given by the highest sovereignty. It is a jade oracle from the subtle origin. I invoke with strong sincerity to drive away the demons and evils and lengthen my healthy years. The attained spirits respond. The evil demon king, Mo Wong, is chained to stand as our guard and servant. The powerful atmosphere has been generated, dispersing all negativity. The Qi of Tao is everlasting. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Amen. What a thing. Thank you for tuning in, Wayfarer. Really good to see you. I'm glad Rose stopped by and another individual was out there in Happy Land. I don't recall exactly right off the top of my head, but guys, hit the like buttons. Do all that happy horse shit that makes YouTube's algorithms bark like Pavlov's dog. Check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Money. Put a little something in the tip jar. That'll put the pep in my step, the lead in my pencil, and the jelly in my donut. And that, dear Wayfarer, will keep my nose to the grindstone and me rolling with the punches. Until next time, keep doing good magic ad astra per aspera, and I will see you in the abodes of the future. Bye for now.